Story number 4. The dreaded discussion of slavery and cheap labor. Story number 4 surfaced in because of we've just got past the they were this is like I think this is the anniversary where the slave trade originated over 400 years ago in Virginia, and a lot of I talked about in these topic stories this week about cheap labor, and that's mainly the how slavery originated because people found a way. The ruling class found a way to get cheap labor. If you don't know, the awareness on slavery is still growing because slavery still exists in some parts of the world. Why the story surfaced in and why the discussion has to stay alive is because slavery is still a big topic. It has done a lot of damage to the Afro American community, the community where I come from, and it has put a view on just America, period. And people are trying to be serious and they're trying to approach this topic because it's a serious issue that often gets swept away because of what has happened in the past. And you will see each side talk about this. I think the Republicans have a little bit more weight because of because they were the party that chose to fight against slavery, and a lot of people in the wars died. When you look at the Democrat side, you will hear a lot of Republicans or the right saying that it was Democratic laws, the Jim Crow laws, so this issue is still a hot topic. The slavery issue won't go away. The discussion will be there, and because when you talk about cheap labor and you talk about how some countries still utilize slavery, they're starting to dig up the roots of it, where it came from, why it's still a big thing, and why it still needs to be discussed. When you look at historians, people who study African American history, they are very concerned about even the way African American history is being taught. They're saying how some of the founding fathers, the founders of this nation, owned slaves. So you'll hear a lot of talk about this, and I say that mediation probably is needed now more than ever has been before because these debates get sensitive. They get when you have such a bad you have such a great idea, and that's freedom for all in the Constitution, and then on top of that you have the fact that even in the Constitution some of the slaves were considered a certain percentage as a citizen, and you look at how they were beaten, families separated, women thrown overboard and on the oceans, uh, taken from the homeland, and you look at the treatment now with all these different laws, and there's a different perception of the justice system. You see people like Colin Kaepernick kneeling for the national anthem, saying that this issue needs to be addressed on how African Americans are treated. You see these activists like Black Lives Matter. You see African Americans relating to Mexicans, saying that they are the new victims of this. So there's a lot of different talk going on around about this topic. You hear candidates like Joe Biden, the way they talk about African Americans. We've even seen it from the president himself. This is a very sensitive topic, and it really relates to history. I mean, you go to some of these museums, you see some of the weaponries that they were using just to enslave people. It's a very scary topic, and that's why it bumped up to number 4, because if this issue is not addressed, there's a lot of people who just will not have faith in the future of this country. There's been talk about reparations, but the simple fact is that no matter which way you look at it, when you look at how everybody migrated over here for better land, better opportunity, there's some people's ancestors who were enslaved and they've never been able to recover. I could say that I've seen things in my own life that I've had to, but I've always tried to improve my own situations by reading and understanding why things are the way they are. I've never tried to be bitter towards this issue, but approaching this topic from a standpoint where you understand what's actually at stake is I would probably say the if you could just take the time to understand why this is such a big topic, it would probably help. And I do commend all of the news outlets and even the radio host. Each side has tried their best to approach this issue. I think the Republicans are being a little bit more realistic. I think that they're looking at it from a standpoint of the fact that something needs to be done in an economical way. The Democrats may be looking for reparations, but I think more people are looking for education and the willpower of how to undo this stain that we have here in America, which was slavery. So this story number 4 is developing, and it's definitely a big topic because of the mental strain that it has done. I mean, just the crimes in the inner cities, the tribalism it's become a mess. I don't think the past civil rights leaders envisioned what we see now. You can even look at the supremacy issue, the white supremacists, their beliefs, and the fact that people are still looking for cheap labor, and they're still finding ways to keep people working, and while the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Some people say gentrification. There's all different sides of this topic, but when you talk about the discussion itself, I see the story gaining some steam because nobody wants to vote for a person that doesn't care about the real issues and the past of what has been done. So story number 4, I hope I did that as I try to maneuver around it, but it's a real issue. So story number 4 definitely has some potential to gain some steam. You're the Mediator with me, Brian West, where it's my duty every week to give you the top 8 headlines of developing news stories. If you want to be a contributor, all you have to do is visit www.method8inc.com, method8inc.com, where you can buy something, click on something, watch something, or just read something, or just sponsor a program. As a child, I was raised up, and I was told, lightning struck, that I would be something great in this life, a mediator, someone to stay in the middle, navigating the news, swerving left and right, trying to find out what's meaningful, worth talking about in the information forum, the information age, circulating, enlightening all the audience. So if you want to help out, constantly reminding you though, little tip here, I'm just a mediator. The journalists and all the news outlets deserve all the credit. They give me the stories that I need to give you, so you can find something to understand and be informed about. So if you want to contribute in any way, help me out, all you have to do is visit www.method8inc.com, method8inc.com, where you can buy something, click on something, watch something, or just read something, or just sponsor a program. Every little bit counts.
If you need help, then dial your operator.
Have no fear, fellow citizens. The Mediator